Alright, excuse the mess. This is just an impromptu video because I believe I'm done with everything. So, this is the Wii laptop. I'll have another video once it's all closed up, but I just finished it up and everything. So, yeah, I just call it the Wii laptop, nothing fancy. My first big project like this, it started like a year and a half ago, and I went like hardcore for about a month, and kept on, after I put about 100 hours in, I kept on burning through boards. I went through about 3 motherboards through various reasons, and then hung it up and finally decided to go back and finish it. So, anyways, let me just plug in the power supply real quick. Working with one hand here. Alright, so here's your blows. So I'm just going to show you the insides, innards. I don't have a whole lot of in-progress videos, so this is kind of what you got. But I've got everything wired in over here. If it'll focus. There we go. There's some stuff I ended up not using. The 5-volt supply that you see, like right, I don't know, in the middle there. For some reason, I was getting absolutely no power output out of that, no voltage. So I ended up having to use this little step-down guy to connect to the 12-volt power supply and have 5-volt output. That's for the amplifier, for the speakers, and then also for the, I had to run an extra fan because it was overheating. So, anyways, so let me go ahead and power up. I've got some ghetto-tastic buttons over here. There we go. Anyways, so power's on. I've got the, as you can see from the video, infrared lights. That's what the Wiimote uses for the sensors. Your eyes can't see them, but the camera can pick it up, which is kind of cool. So, anyways, as you can see, those are working just fine. Excuse the mess. My workstation's a horrible mess right now, but anyways, speakers work okay. I don't know if you can contrast this kind of. There we go. There you go. See, sensor works just fine. And of course, this has the disk drive completely gone. It just has the motherboard for the disk drive on there. So this one is meant to either just play it as a virtual console or to mod the software and run games off of a USB. So anyways, this is the top half. That's where the speakers are at and my extra fan there, which is currently blowing. And anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it. There's not a whole lot else to really say. I'm going to put this thing back together, and I'll have another video then. One other thing I wanted to say, too, before I shut this video down. I've seen a lot of projects where people have done stuff like this, and they have all the wires kind of going crazy like this, and then they close it all up. And all the wires are permanently fixed in there from point A to point B, so if you ever have any troubleshooting, I imagine, or have to take it apart, it's probably a nightmare. So I made every single wire in here. This is meant to be disassembled because, you know, I've had to do a lot of troubleshooting on this. So it's meant to be disassembled. All the wires, I mean, it's a very, simple thing. I'll just show you in the speaker. All the wires are meant, they've got headers on there so that they disconnect and reconnect very easily. So I just did that on all of them. Yeah, just so it's easy if I ever have to take it apart, which I've had to do quite a few times. So anyways, yep, that's it. Alright, so this is the Wii laptop, completely 100%, fingers crossed, finished now. This is the 4th board that I went through, motherboard, before I finally got one that I think is good to go. So, like I said, I'll keep my fingers crossed. But anyways, I adapted this from a project that I had seen from someone, I can't remember his name, but I'll link to it in the description below. But it was his design. I just took a case from polycase.com. It's a ZN, maybe 145, I can't remember. I'll have that link in the description as well. But it's the top and the bottom, they fit together. And I had to do some trimming of the board. This version does not have the disk drive intact, only the motherboard for the disk drive. So it is basically designed to either use strictly as virtual console, or you can mod the software, and then I've got the USB drive here is accessible, so you can load games off of a USB drive. So that's basically how the games are designed to be played. I'm gonna probably improve on that in the future, maybe even have the disk drive accessible. Who knows? Most of these portable projects don't have it in there just because of the size and the capability of being able to play them off of flash media. So, but anyways, this right here, the screen is just a screen I got off Amazon. It also uses 12 volts, which is the same power supply that the Wii uses, so it works out really great there. I'll go ahead and plug it in so you've got something to stare at besides the black screen. I just cut a hole in the ZN housing and stuck, like, the reason it has this line and everything here and all these buttons is because I kept the housing for the LCD intact, just the front housing piece, and then I epoxied it in here and then used Bondo to fill in the gaps, and then I just spray painted over it. So spray painting job I did pretty terrible, but I'll improve on that for the future. It's my first spray painting experience and I didn't do very good. Anyways, so I've got some holes for the speakers cut out here, and this is not, it's not like completely portable technically. I still have to have the power source in here. There is enough room in here for a battery pack. I just didn't put one in. This one just for cost sake, and like this is just for me. I don't really need it. This is kind of just a proof of concept for me to see if I could do it. I'm going to make more of these in the future, and I'll probably have a power pack in there so it can be completely 100% portable. But this one is mostly portable anyhow. So I've got the controller ports here, access for GameCube controller ports and the memory card. I've got an SD card slot in the side here. These are the buttons that I kind of ghetto rigged. So this is your power button. I'll go ahead and turn it on. And there is an indication light. I don't know if you can see it here, but down here, right there, it's real fuzzy. I don't think you can really see it very well in the thing here, but yeah. So you do have the LED indicator for power, and then right here is the sync switch for the Wiimote. This is your reset switch. This is for your SD card. And then right here, this is some ventilation. I have a fan mounted there. So, hang on, let me turn this thing back on. So I have a fan mounted there. Sorry about the background noise. I've got a fan mounted in there. I've actually got two fans in there because I was having some issues with it overheating. So I've got one fan here where fan normally is on the Wii, and then the other one over here. And as you can see, I've got the sensor bar lights here. These are regular infrared lights. You can't see them normally, but the camera on the phone picks them up. And then I've got them close enough together that you can use this at a pretty close range. Let's see if I can demonstrate that. There we go. So you can use it pretty close range. Focus. So there we go. So everything works fine. And these are the virtual console games that I have on this particular unit. So anyways, that's pretty much it. I think that's just about everything. So I've got the potentiometer in the back for the volume control. Let me go ahead and shut this thing down. I'll show you how I've got that set up. So, I've got some hinges on the side here. These hinges can be adjusted as far as tension with these screws. These screws right here, you tighten those to control how much tension you want. This is, I believe this is the wire for the sensor bar. This is the wire for the screen. I have it where you can disconnect it. That was in case you wanted to use the screen to connect to something else. You could unplug this. Like if you had a DVD player, you know, that had S-video, you could unplug this and plug it into the Blu-ray player or DVD player. So I doubt that I'll ever use that, but that's why that I did that instead of just hardwiring it in. I just use a regular component like RCA jack input for the power cord. I kind of like the way that they are. It's just simple, so I just have one of these. I think I have the pin is your 12 volt feed, and then the shield is your ground. So that's where your power comes from. And then this little potentiometer, I don't have a knob on it right now. I may put one of those on there later, but this is where you control your volume. So anyways, that's pretty much it. That's the Wii laptop. Yeah, there we go.